On today's episode, I bring you the horrific story of the PAPIN sisters, two sisters who turned into lovers and finally into murderers. Meet Christine and Léa Papin. Christine and Léa Papin were born in Le Mans. Their mother was Clemence and their father was called Gustave Papin. While Clemence was dating Gustave, rumors had it that she was having an affair with her employer. However, after she became pregnant, Gustave married her in October 1901. 5 months later, their first daughter, Emilia, was born. Suspecting that Clemence was still having an affair with her employer, Gustave found a new job in another city and announced the family would move. Clemence declared she would rather take her own life than leave Le Mans. The marriage deteriorated. Christine was born on March 8, 1905. However, her mother was considered not to be nurturing and deemed unsuitable for motherhood. So, Christine was given to her paternal aunt and uncle soon after birth. She lived happily with them for 7 years. Léa was born on September 15, 1911 and given to her maternal uncle, with whom she remained until he died. In 1912, when Emilia was about 10 years old, it was alleged that Gustave, her father, had raped her. Clemence believed that Emilia had seduced her father and sent her to Bon Pasteur Catholic orphanage, which was known for its discipline. Soon afterward, Emilia was joined by Christine and Léa, who Clemence intended would remain at the orphanage until the age of 15, when they could be employed. Clemence and Gustave divorced, and so Gustave began drinking heavily. In 1918, Emilia decided to enter a convent, effectively ending her relations with her family. As far as can be ascertained, she lived out the remainder of her life there. During Christine's time at the orphanage, she also received the calling to become a nun. Clemence, their mother, forbade this, instead placing her in employment. Christine had been trained in various household duties in the convent, easing her into becoming a living maid. Christine was described as a hard worker and a good cook who could be insubordinate at times. Léa was described as quite introverted and obedient, but was considered less intelligent than Christine. Employers were content with their work. However, Clemence was not satisfied with their pay and forced them to seek better paid opportunities. The sisters worked as maids in various Le Mans homes. They preferred to work together whenever possible. In 19, and the Papins became the target of her mental illness. Of Madame Lancelin reportedly physically assaulting them. The abuse worsened. At its peak, she would slam the sisters' heads against the wall. On the evening of Thursday, February 2nd, 1933, Monsieur Lancelin was supposed to meet Madame Leonie and Genevieve for dinner at the home of a family friend. Madame Leonie and Genevieve had been out shopping that day. The PAPIN sisters explained to Madame Lancelin that the power outage had been caused by Christine plugging in a faulty electrodes in the thighs of the victims. Sometime later, Monsieur Lancelin returned home to Fashi and proceeded to the party himself. When he arrived at his friend's home, he found that his family was not there. He returned to his house resident with his son-in-law at approximately. After the officer knocked but received no response, he summoned self-defense. During the trial, the sisters protected each other. Officials relented and allowed the two sisters to meet. Christine reportedly threw herself at Léa, unbuttoning her blouse, begging her, "Please say yes, please say yes," suggesting an incestuous sexual relationship. In July 1993, Christine experienced a fit, or an episode was based on family ties, not an incestuous relationship as others had suggested. Family. Their uncle had died by suicide while their cousin was living in an asylum. The psychologist Léa fared better than Christine, serving only 8 years of her 10 years sentence due to good behavior in prison. After her release in 1941, she lived in the town of Nantes, where she was joined by her mother. She assumed a false identity and earned a living as a hotel maid. French film producer Claude Ventura claims he had discovered Léa living in a hospice center in France in the year 2000 while creating the film Search of the Papin Sisters. The woman he claimed to be Léa had suffered a stroke, which had rendered her partially paralyzed and unable to speak. This woman died in the year 2001. As we close this chapter, let us remember Christine and Léa not only for their crime but for the broader lessons their stories impart about humanity, mental health, and the social structures that shape our lives. For Murder Chronicles, I am Sarah, and thank you so much for staying tuned in. And please do not forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay safe and I'll see you soon.